It's Wale. Welcome to Twale TV, and Mr. Olu is back. Oh, the man, you man. This is the fan who has always been good to us coming on the show. Mr. Olu, welcome back again.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
So please don't go anywhere. This is just an intro for Mr. Olu, okay? We've got lots to talk about, all the games from yesterday and today's games as well. Don't forget Man U Leicester, and he's here to defend Man U. Stay right tuned, and we'll be right back. It's Wale. Welcome back to Twale TV Sports. Firstly, let me say big thank you to you new followers. I have to be saying this because you give us such a big buzz on this channel. And to those of you who have accused me that I've brought Mr. Olu on the show, I think this is the third time.
Correct,
okay?
Correct.
You're all going to have your chance. Please, you're going to have your time. You're all going to come. But it's just convenient for Mr. Olu because he's very down the road and we have a lot of technical preparations to make. There are live shows coming that, interactive shows. We are engaging you. You are all going to be superstar. You're going to have your own 15 minutes of fame. Don't worry. Don't worry. So, Mr. Olu, yesterday's game. Okay. Let's do Nottingham Forest first.
Okay.
This league never ceased to surprise me. Nottingham Forest, before the game, you would think, okay, a good 3-pointer for Man City. How did you?
So my prediction was 2-0 Man City.
Okay.
Especially after
I thought you were going to say 2-0 Nottingham Forest.
Especially after the way they dismantled Arsenal. In midweek. I thought, okay, this is Man City now. They're going to go on a run. So it just goes to show this league
is the best.
So unpredictable.
And the best league. We should be proud of it. We should celebrate it. And for those of us who are lucky to be living in England,
yes,
it's a real blessing. I was listening to Jorginho after the Arsenal win, and they were asking him about his goal, and he goes, well, this league, this is what this league is all about. And the word he said, the phrase he used that really, really captivated my attention, my mind, was he said, this is why it's the best league in the world.
For sure.
So we're saying that we're proud of EPL. Well done, EPL. Yeah. So it's a real shock for me as well, to be honest. And I thought, wow, English Premier League. Here you come again with another shocker. I actually thought Nottingham Forest, the way they play high press as well, that they would do the same thing against City and they would get beaten badly. Yes. I thought they would get beaten like 4-5-0, 4-1. And I saw the first goal. I didn't watch the game, obviously, it wasn't live. And I said, oh, Man City won. I said, oh, finished. Next thing I was expecting 2-0, 3-0. And then the next thing I was just glancing on the telly, about, I think it was 10 minutes to the end of all the games. Yeah. And I said, 1-1. I said, what? Yes, go on, Nottingham. I became a Nottingham Forest automatically. Because me, I don't want City to win this league.
For me personally, I mean, it was a surprise, huge surprise. However, in saying that, I still think it's City's league, despite what's happened, because the key here is, I know we're going to talk about Arsenal later on. We know Arsenal, we know City have got the T-shirt. They've got the T-shirt, they've worn it, they've washed it, cleaned it, ironed it, pressed it. And you
think that gives them an edge?
I think there may still be one or two little surprises later on down the line.
Okay.
But for now, I still think City are in the ascendancy, albeit,
that topic would have to continue anyway because it's Arsenal now, okay? Arsenal has come back yesterday against Aston Villa. Well, a remarkable comeback, but the result didn't actually tell the picture because they got the 2 extra goals in the last few minutes. Okay, but it was the way they kept going. The same way they were going, I said this in my podcast yesterday. It was the same way they were going against West Ham. West Ham were very, dominating, physical, and they scored first before Arsenal. And Arsenal then came back, equalized, and then beat them 3-1 or so. And I've seen that pattern of that change in mentality, in approach, and it's the same reason I rate Arsenal as still the favorite. I know I can't say that if you have to look at the squad, but Man City are not exploiting the opportunity of their depth in squad.
That I agree. But I think the key here is, and this is for me is the real critical differentiator.
Yeah.
Arsenal not playing well. And this is, I mean, yesterday,
Yeah,
I think they got a lot of luck.
yes,
Because,
you can
I
say
mean,
that.
if Bailey had if his shot had gone under the bar rather than
It would have
hitting the
been.
bar,
Yeah,
that's game over.
yeah, it's part.
And also, if you look at Arsenal's third goal, hits the bar, comes back out, it's the keeper Martinez on the head and goes back in. It was one of
Well,
those.
a little
It was
bit of
one of those
luck
luck. A
to
lot
win
of
the
luck.
league. You need it.
So for me, I think Arsenal are not doing
They're
enough
not. They're
to
not.
win.
You don't think they will win the league?
I think
I
between
think they will win the league.
no,
Judging by the results, judging by their performance, they have been
no.
on top of the table since the beginning of the season. Okay, if they're not on top, it's only for a couple of hours, or few hours, or a couple of days.
Mr. Mo.
And Man City can't override them. Man City can't
Mr. Mo.
remove them from number one all
Don't
season.
don't forget.
So that's my only reason.
Don't-
I follow statistics.
Don't forget. City still have to play Arsenal again.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee they will beat Arsenal.
They've played twice already.
And they've beaten them twice. They beat them in FA Cup and they beat them in league.
And both times they beat them convincingly. It
No,
wasn't even- the
I disagree.
The last game wasn't even close.
Last game, I disagree. Arsenal lost to City at home because of their stupidity.
They lost.
They made they lost.
First half,
They lost.
first half
All
was
the goals,
close.
all the goals
First half
against
was
them were
close.
silly goals.
But that's pressure.
That's true. That's true. You can say that.
Pressure. First half, Arsenal. I mean, it was a magnificent game. First half, I was like, wow. But second half, it was like men against
Okay.
boys.
All right. Let's crack on again. We haven't got much time
Yeah.
today. We're still going to talk about Man U, Leicester.
Yes.
Okay, and because actually, let's talk about your sudden discussion now, right? There's this awareness now among football fans that it's no more a 2-horse race, it's a 3-horse race now,
Rightly
and
so.
that's because Man U suddenly showed up from nowhere. What's your take on your sudden run? Because you must have had about 10 wins out of 11 now.
Yeah.
So I never rated Ten Hag in the beginning. I'll be honest. I never rated the guy.
always told
I
you.
just thought he's just another manager from Netherlands. He hasn't proved himself. You have to prove yourself in this league anyway to start with. And he hasn't proven himself in this league. And they gave him the biggest club. Okay? One of the biggest clubs. I should say that, Chelsea fan. One of the biggest clubs in the world. And I thought the pressure would be too much for him and the previous problems before he arrived. So, but to my surprise, the guy has kept quiet in his baggy suit. It's a long time I've seen skinny man in a baggy suit. So every time I see Ten Hag, I always
can't take him seriously.
I just laugh. Say, how can you take this guy seriously? But he has surprised me.
It hasn't surprised me. And if you remember when he got rid of Mr. Ronaldo, I mentioned at the time on one of our podcasts that don't take this guy. You need to take this guy seriously. He's firm, but fair. And that's what we've been missing since the
Somebody
great
with
man.
a little bit of authority.
Yes. Jose had it, but Jose just wasn't a people's person.
Jose's problem is Jose has no middle ground.
Yeah, it's high or low.
Exactly. My way or the highway.
Yeah.
And he does it not only with the players, he does it
everybody.
with the board, everybody. So
Ten Hag plays the game. So for me, I think we've always been there, lurking behind the shadows. The fact that people didn't take us seriously was good for us.
so it's now for me. I'm just telling myself, how come you're not mentioning Man U?
See, right
What
now,
a run! What a run!
Right now, tomorrow,
You're only a few points
so
from
we need
top
to
two.
win tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the first and
First
foremost.
step.
We need to win tomorrow. And I think as long as we continue, because we've got the best player currently in the league in Marcus Rashford. The guy is
Okay, the
showing
guy
he's
is on fire.
He's on fire. So for me, we have the best player in the league. We've got Casemiro in midfield, albeit he's not playing tomorrow.
Okay.
And our defense, we've got.
You're lucky with Casemiro. What a kingpin!
I wouldn't
What
say
a
lucky.
midfield general!
I think
you aren't lucky. You're okay. You're not. You went for him. And I actually thought when they bought him that they only bought him to calm the tension that they just rushed to
He
buy
has
him.
surprised me. He has surprised me because even though he's
He
a
settled
world-class
really
player,
well. He settled
I
it.
wasn't expecting him to settle so quickly. Especially over 30. The pace is a different pace
To
but
Spain.
You can see his experience in how he plays. The man is so calm. It's a real pleasure to see him playing for my club.
Good luck to you, Man U
But I
fans.
think we're there.
Okay, Man U fans, at least we're picking you up too. All those jealousy that were,
We're there.
you
We're
know,
back.
abusing me. So
We're
what's
back.
it with all this Arsenal bit? We're picking you up because we can see a trace of success.
We're
You know,
back.
in the last
Well,
11, 12
we
games.
haven't won anything
Yeah,
yet.
but it's
But it's
success
coming.
when you have a good run like you're having now. It's
But
a
coming.
success. It's a progression.
Let's see how we perform next week. Like one against Barcelona. No, tomorrow Leicester. Thursday Barcelona, and then our first final in over 5 years, 6 years, 6 years. Next Sunday against
Okay, Man U
Newcastle.
fans.
And then we can take it from
You
there.
can't blame me. We're not giving you enough room. Oh. You
But-
see how
but-
much,
but I
you see
think
how
we're
much
back.
time we spent talking about Man U.
We're back. We're
Yeah?
definitely back. We're
Okay.
definitely
All
back.
right. We're back, says Mr. Olu. We shall wait and see. Man U is back. All right. Now, straight into the takeover bid with Man U. I've always wanted to discuss it with a Man U person. I made my personal suggestion about a week ago that I have no bad feelings against anybody spending their money anyhow, any way they want it. So if the Qataris buy Manchester United, it's good for Man U fans because it's a bottomless pit. They can just spend and spend. All right, because the owners are linked to the investment, some blah, blah, blah of the
Investment
country.
authority, yeah.
Exactly. So they can just spend the country's money on Man U, and that's good luck to you guys. But my main concern, which has been a talking point in the mainstream media, is looking at the way Qatari, government, behaved during the World Cup. They produced, they presented a fantastic World Cup and they delivered.
Yeah.
But they went back on their promise on allowing fans to drink beer in the stadium only 48 hours before the game. They suddenly made a U-turn. You can't have beer in the stadium. A lot of fans who traveled thousands of miles, spent thousands of money, they were so upset. And then again, they said, oh, LGBTQ, you're all welcome, blah, 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 our country is free. They even interviewed ministers. They asked him, oh, so you mean if you see LGBT people on the street kissing, there won't be problem? He goes, no problem. And then when the World Cup comes, they can't even go inside the stadium with their T-shirt. So them now coming to buy Man U, coming into our system and dictating what would happen with one of the biggest clubs in the world, that concerns me a lot.
Okay, so I think let's deal with the World Cup first. For me, if you go into, as they used to say, if you go to when you're in Rome,
You behave like Romans.
exactly. Okay, every country has its own
Rule.
culture. And I think it's only fair you adapt to that culture. It's either you adapt to their culture or you don't go there. We knew the rules before going there.
Okay, I agree with you there, but let me interrupt you quickly, Mr. Olu. So if Rome wants us to behave like Romans when we're in Rome, they too should behave like English.
When they come here, agreed. So do I have a problem then buying Manchester United? Yes or no? Because on the one hand, you've got the human rights issues, which is what you're discussing around the LGBT, as well as how they treat women.
Exactly. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, how they treat women
And migrant workers.
Yeah, migrant. We've got all of that, which is it's not nice.
I don't really want to get into all the political shenanigans.
That concerns a lot of people. But then on the other side, on the plus side, listen, we've seen what's happened with Man City, a bottomless pit.
I know.
We've seen what's happened with PSG.
I know.
So if
So you don't mind, right?
and in this day,
man, you man.
and in this day and age,
Yeah.
don't forget, it's a transaction, right? If someone
I
is
get you.
selling and you have a buyer, the seller has every right to sell
all
whoever
right.
he wants to sell to.
Okay, Mr. Alu, we only got a couple of minutes left, and we're going to touch base on Man U Leicester.
Okay.
What's your take? You think
Man
you're going
U
to whoop
win.
Leicester? Man U win?
I'm not
Don't
saying
forget
we'll
Leicester
whoop.
just beating Tottenham 4-1.
That's Tottenham. We all know what Spurs are like.
Oh my God. Tottenham fans, don't worry, you will have your say. You can leave him to run his mouth now. Nobody to defend you here.
Spursy, we know what Spursy
Yeah,
are
but
like.
excuse me, I'll have to defend Spurs because Antonio Conte is a top dog. And I won't be surprised
I'm not convinced.
Okay, all right,
I'm
we
not
should wait and see. So you reckon you're going to whoop Leicester?
I think it will be a tight game
Okay.
against Leicester because don't forget we've played Barcelona midweek game and then we have another tough game coming up next week. So I think Ten Hag will make some changes.
All right.
And it will be a tight game, but I think we'll just shade it.
All right, let's see. Tottenham West Ham.
Draw.
Draw.
So you've got David Moyes.
Okay, that sounds like something I will agree to as well.
David Moyes, and you got Tottenham. Tottenham also played midweek, so don't forget again after the Champions League game.
But because
Mentally,
Tottenham is at home, so they
yeah.
might edge it. And
But Tottenham always start slowly, and I think maybe it's a blessing that Antonio Conte wouldn't actually be in the stadium.
okay, all right, folks, that's all we got for you today. But before we go, there's a young lady in the studio. She says she wants her own 1 second of fame. Lara, she's sleeping. Oh my. Come on, show your face. She says she wants to. This is Olu's daughter. She just escorted her dad to the studio. And she goes, Uncle, I want to show my face. That's Lara. Or that's your 1 minute of 1 second of fame. That's it, folks, tonight. So please, let's enjoy today's games and then we'll catch up later on. Okay? A big thank you to Mr. Olu, Man U fan, and to all of you out there following us. Please keep on doing it. We love it. We see the numbers grow, and it makes us happy. Thank you so much, and we'll catch up. Well, probably after the games today, we'll catch up again.
Okay.
Hasta la vista, baby. Thank you.
Wale.